Have you ever felt like you're living two lives? One where everything looks fine from the outside, but inside you're falling apart quietly. That's the feeling that runs through Beck Seehee memoir I Want to Die, But I Want to Eat Tteokbokki, a book that's painfully honest, strangely comforting, and deeply human. Let's start with the title. It's kind of shocking, right? I want to die and I want to eat tteokbokki. It's a contradiction, but that's the point. Bexy was dealing with chronic depression, something called dysthymia, a low, constant sadness that never really goes away. She didn't want to live, but she still wanted the comfort of warm, spicy tteokbokki. That tiny craving for something simple and good. That's the thread that keeps her connected to life. The whole book is built around real therapy sessions. Each chapter is a conversation between Beck and her psychiatrist, and it feels almost intrusive, like reading someone's private diary. She's not dramatic or self pitying. She's analytical, even detached. Sometimes she sounds like she's observing her own pain through glass. But between her words, you feel the weight of someone just trying to understand why she can't feel joy anymore. Beck talks about how she can act normal, joke with friends, do her job, look fine, and still feel completely hollow. It's a kind of emotional split that many people with high functioning depression understand. She is hyper aware of how others see her, but disconnected from her own feelings. She says, I'm performing myself. And that line, it hits hard because so many of us do that every day, performing okayness. Beck admits things most people hide, that she is judgmental, jealous, and afraid of being disliked. She is not trying to be a hero or a victim, she is trying to be honest. In one session, she says she feels like she is always comparing herself to others, yet terrified of real connection. Her psychiatrist tells her, that's the contradiction you live with, and that's what makes this book so powerful. It's not about fixing yourself, it's about learning to live with your contradictions. In South Korea, mental health is still a sensitive topic. Success and self control are everything. So, when Beck's book came out, it was revolutionary. She said what many young Koreans were thinking but never dared to voice, that behind the ambition and aesthetics, there is exhaustion and quiet sadness. Her story resonated not just in Korea but everywhere because depression doesn't speak one language, it whispers in all of them. Beck's writing is minimalist and direct, no flowery sentences, no big revelations, just quiet honesty. She doesn't pretend to have answers, she simply writes what's real, and somehow that becomes comforting. This single line, I want to die, but I also want to eat tteokbokki, says everything. It's about how despair and hope coexist. How, even in your darkest moment, there's still a tiny spark that wants warmth, flavor, life. That craving, no matter how small, is proof you still want to stay. Beck Seehee passed away in October 2025 at just 35 years old. Her loss hit hard for those who found themselves in her words. But what she left behind is a quiet revolution, a reminder that honesty can heal more than perfection ever could. Her voice will keep echoing in every person who ever felt like giving up, but still got up to make tea or eat tteokbokki anyway. Beck's book doesn't teach you how to heal. It teaches you that it's okay not to be healed yet. That even when you're tired of life, you can still crave its small sweetness. A good meal, a kind word, a quiet morning. So maybe the next time you feel like you have reached your limit, remember this. It's okay to want to die, but still want to eat tteokbokki. Because wanting something small, that's still wanting life.